Hey, fam, and welcome to the Peel Back. Thank you so much for joining us for the very first episode. This will be a place where we dive a little bit deeper into subjects that we experience in our day to day lives as two Black women in America with a combined wealth of experiences and through very different lenses. Together, we'll find the nuance in every situation and peel back those layers in your experiences and our own to help bridge some gaps across the various intersectionalities of the diaspora. How, you ask? Well, you'll just have to stick around and find out now, won't you? My name is Trinity, but you can call me Trin. And my co-host and mom, we've got Mimi. Miss Mimi if you're nasty.
Hey, family!
So again, welcome to the Peel Back. We are very excited to jump into this journey with y'all, so thank you for listening. This is going to be a show focused on bridging gaps and finding understanding amongst one another. In times where we all feel so isolated and constantly wonder how we got here, we can at least answer some of the questions that will help us, and you know what else I'm talking about, to understand each other more. We'll get into relationships, family, love across the gender and sexual spectrum, society, maybe some politics, religion, or lack thereof. You name it, though. We'll get into it. There are roads we won't cross, and we don't aim to alienate or dismiss experiences outside of ours. But we will protect our space and those who rock with us. Play around with your own mama, not here. Moving on. This first episode will not include video like feature releases, and will be a small discussion between Mimi and I just to break some ground with you all. Our goal, however, is to sit with and synthesize tougher questions in the future in a safe space without judgment, but instead open-mindedness and the desire to learn about one another together. So without further ado, let's peel back. Mimi, what's on your mind today?
Hello, lovely people. First of all, I'm going to say I am so excited to be here. So excited. As my beautiful daughter stated, I am Mimi. I am a Black woman living in America, cis Black woman, hetero Black woman, mother of 5, grandmother of 4, trying to make it in this world we're living in today. I think I'm more excited about what we are doing with the peel back because I get to learn from you guys. I get to share my thoughts and opinions, hear what you all have to say, and do what I like to do best. I like to educate and be educated. And so this is something that is super duper exciting for me. I cannot wait for us to get into the topics because we all know this world we living in today is scary in multiple places. And so I'm not just here to talk. I want to listen. I want to learn. I am so ready to go. We don't want to sit here and entertain. You guys have to tune in. You have to write in. This is the Peel Back family. So that means everybody has to get on board. We want to hear what you have to say. We want to be able to not just agree, but agree to disagree. So let's get into it. Let's get into it. So I'm ready to get into this topic today. I got a question, y'all. I have this topic that I've been wanting to talk about, and this may be something that everybody else is so educated on. They have all this knowledge, but I don't. So, as we know, I'm still learning. So, what I wanted to start off with is I want to be educated on what is so upsetting to a lot of cis women about the term cis versus trans. Let me clarify what I'm saying. There are a lot of us born biological women that I've heard and I've read and I've seen over the years that are really in their feelings about being called a cis woman, right? It's like, why do I have to add that on? I'm a woman. Like, I don't, just to please you, and I don't want to have to add cis. I'm a woman. Educate me on why that's so upsetting. Should I be offended? Like, what?
I hear you. Really good question. So let's educate the people who don't know. I cannot claim to be an expert, but I know enough about this topic, identifying as a trans woman myself for the better part of a decade and researching it for far longer. So let's start with a few definitions. The prefix cis, spelled CIS, not SIS, as in what's good, sis, means to be on the side of or on this side, where trans means to be on the other side of or to change or transfer. What does that mean in relation to gender? So to be cis is to be on the side of your assigned sex at birth, and to be trans is the opposition of that. All who do not identify with their assigned sex at birth fall under the trans umbrella, even though some may not claim that box. But that's a deeper layer for another time. Getting into the discussion of being assigned at birth, however, let's dive a little bit into that. You may also be hearing terms more recently like AMAB, assigned male at birth, or AFAB, assigned female at birth. And you kind of just hinted at that, Mimi. So if you're assigned female at birth, like yourself, you still identify as a female or a woman. You are then cisgender. It just means that you're still on the side of or identifying with that gender. That's all it is. Nothing to be afraid of, nothing at all to try and distance yourself from. You don't have to change the way that you behave in this world in any way, shape, or form. You're recognized for who you are and what your assigned sex was at birth, remaining that way. When it comes to transgender people, like myself, all that the trans prefix means is that you're not on the side of or that you are disconnected from said gender in that regard, that you are transitioning to a different gender or not identifying with one at all. So to be transgender means that I, somebody who was assigned male at birth or AMAB, no longer identify with and haven't really ever identified exclusively as male. So I consider myself a trans woman, and I include that prefix because I stand for who I am and the journey that I've been on thus far, as well as the representation that we all still need to be real. I like to say, yeah, I'm all woman and always have been, regardless of what you saw on the exterior, but a lot of people still don't recognize us that way, and then find a lot of issues with it, rooted in ignorance, of course. These are the gaps we'll be bridging here, though. No one is walking around just calling people cisgender or cis, CIS. It's always in relation to someone who isn't for contextual purposes. To cap that, though, that's all being cis or trans is, so nothing to be afraid of, right?
I love it. I love it. And see, I just learned something else because I never, until you just said it, heard of AFAB or I never heard of those terms until literally just now. So I love that. I get it. I wanted to ask because knowledge excites me. Being aware excites me. I have never considered myself to be a closed-minded person in any aspect. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and be one of those people that are, "Well, why do I have to change who I am and how I identify for you?" Right? And I'm sure you've heard that or seen that, you know. Thank you for the education because I needed that. I had no clue. Peelback family, we need you to chime in. Let us know what your thoughts are. If you've ever encountered someone that has a problem with the way you identify or how you may have identified them, what are your thoughts? How do you see it? Is it the negative, the positive? Let us know. Write in, call in, send us a message. Let us know what you're thinking.
Exactly. We want to hear back from you. There are a lot of people out here who react first before educating themselves on these topics. And a lot of what we're going to try and do here, family, is minimize those misunderstandings with knowledge, which we know is what? Power.
Correct.
We want to be able to close up the spaces where it feels like the miseducation of a lot of us has bred anger, the ugliest shroud for ignorance.
Yeah.
We want to try and dismantle a lot of that extra generational anger between or within families, parents and their children, children and their parents. We know that there are a lot of folks who might hear this and have to deal with the consequences of those innate differences that they didn't necessarily choose, but have created some risks born from confusion and, again, ignorance.
Yeah.
We want to be able to say to all of those people, hey, there's something else to that. You're angry for a very specific reason. Your reaction and your emotions to the situation are valid in a way, but let's try and understand a better way to approach it.
That's what's needed. That is what's needed. And just to let you guys know that topics like this, um, I'm not going to say I'm a daredevil, but I am looking forward to the topics that are difficult. I know when we started this, I said something to you about how I am ready to be excited about being uncomfortable. Like, typically for me, being uncomfortable gives me anxiety. But taking this journey, I'm excited about being uncomfortable. And so I just want everybody to know that the topics that we are going to reach, the topics that we want to hear from you that you want to talk about, this is a safe space. Even for people that have hate in their heart, we are not punching bags. But this is a safe space if you need somebody to talk to and walk you off of that hate ledge. Hey, safe space. So we are grandma's kitchen. This is home away from home. This is I need to get away from this chaos. I need a hug. This is your hug. Make sure you stay tuned. It's so much more to come.
A lot more to come for sure. So, family, this is just a snippet of our first episode to be released next week, but I hope you got the gist. Again, we want to hear from you all on topics you want to peel back on, and they don't have to be personal necessarily, like this one. We just want to expand the conversations you're curious about or having already. In future episodes, we plan to discuss how communication and respect has changed over the last few decades, elaborating on the varying perspectives of that. Gentle parenting, is it helping or is it hurting? And where's the line for all of you? What are you doing in your own households? Are you a Tom Dubois or a Huey Freeman? What brought you to where you are now? And which one feels better? And Black women, where are you at with the journey of self-preservation? Are you still putting everyone else above yourself, or are you able to finally step back and let good enough be what it is? Be honest. We want to know. Email us your thoughts at thepeelbackpod@gmail.com. Message us on Threads, Insta, TikTok, or in the comments section on Spotify or YouTube. The website is to come down the line, so much more with that. Thank you again for supporting us and listening to this first little snippet. We appreciate you peeling back with us and I hope to do so much more with you in the future. Take care, y'all.